Hey, how's it going? So it's been a month. Yeah, this is the longest I've ever gone without posting, which I'm a little embarrassed about because I constantly think to myself, I need to make a video and I have like zero clue what to make a video about. But today was like really easy. Um, I went on another run. Shocker. I've started to make it into kind of a habit. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Let me turn that off. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Um, I desperately need a haircut. Overtime has killed me recently, so those are the only little excuses I'll throw out for now. Um, well, I hope you're all doing okay. It's been a really long time, and I know the title for it is kind of crazy, right? I mean, I started off kind of upbeat, but it's kind of egregious. Um, you know, I feel like, and let me know if you relate to this. The better you're doing, it's like you know there's this climb. You start doing well, you gain momentum. You know, one thing's going great, next thing goes great, next thing goes great, and then all of a sudden, like even just like a thought crosses your mind, and all of a sudden, ruined, like just done. And like I'm talking about, I go from listening to my little Spanish music, the reggaeton, you know what I'm saying, and then the next day I'm listening to straight Claro, fucking Faye Webster. Like I'm like on a whole different vibe, and I don't know what it is, but it's like it hits so much harder whenever you're doing well, and that's why ultimately the title is like life is so cruel, um, because it's like you know growing up, people always tell you get that job and then you're done, or it's like graduate high school, then you're done, college, then you're done, career, then you're done. But it's like you're never really finished, you're never really done. And you talk to these older people, and they talk to you about their journey, whatever. But I feel like they leave out so much shit because you're telling me you didn't like what did you do whenever you were struggling with whether or not to move out of where you were living at the time? Like, what did you do I don't know, whenever you were in between jobs? Like, what was the struggle there? What was going through your head? Do you even remember? Because I mean, here I am. I love my job. I love the city I live in. I finally settled in, but now my lease is coming to an end, and I have to ask myself: do I move cities, stay at the same job? Do I look for a different job, even though I like the job I'm at? But like, what's the point? It's like you go through life's paces, and it feels like there's things that you're supposed to do, but how do you decide what decision to make? And it's like obviously everyone's gonna go, just pick whatever is best for you, bro. Just 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 go with whatever best suits your situation. But how the fuck? How do I know? How do I know where to go? And I can ask the people around me, but like ultimately I'm the one who has to live with the decision, right? And it feels kind of like counterintuitive to ask other people what I should do with my life. And I feel like for a long time I did do that. So that's why now I really don't want to ask someone else what to do because I've always done that. And so now that the decision rests on my shoulders, I'm like, okay, so what do I do? What do I do? Like, I've settled in and now I'm faced with a decision that makes me feel like everything's jumbled up again. And then I have all this great stuff happening in my life, and then I get a piece of news or somebody tells me something, and like it just ruins my whole momentum, like every bit of it. And I found my coping mechanism, the healthy things I do, like the going out, running, the random basketball sessions, my comfort series I'm watching right now. I'm back to cooking and stuff again. Like I found the things that keep me grounded and they help me come back from those positions. But now that I'm stable, how do I say this? When something pushes me into this instability, I'm more than capable of bringing myself back. But how do I push myself back into being unstable? You know what I mean? It's like how do I streamline that? Because what if because I enjoy being spontaneous now, but like how do I translate that to like important decisions? You know what I mean? And this is a whole this is I guess is a similar topic of talking to these older people. They they've been through so much, and you ask them for advice, and usually it's generic. But surely, like there's more meat to it, right? Like they're like you've got to be holding out on me. Like, is this one of those Disney Channel moments where you want me to figure it out on my own? How do people usually handle this stuff? How do you start something new? And that's where my struggle has been too. Is like, I'm finally back in a good place, and I want to start something new, but how do I gain the confidence to do that? How do I how do I dive in without being scared? Why am I so scared? And maybe you find yourself asking yourself the same question. And I'm sorry I can't be more help. It's more like food for thought. Um, on my run though, I thought there was one thing that kind of narrowed me back in, and I told myself, and this wasn't even thinking about the video. It was just I told myself, man, I need to learn to live for now. And I've mentioned it before, like not looking too far ahead and taking things day by day, whatever. But it's like there's always some future planning going on, and the future planning is important for sure. But like usually when you go, oh man, I want to live in a house in the future, or oh man, I need to save up money for blank blank blah blah blah. You drop this board and you have like your ladder of how to do things, but like I feel like you think of all the things you can change and all the things you can gain, but I forget about the intangibles. I forget about where things go wrong, and you can't really plan for that. So all you can do is live things day by day, hoping that whatever blueprint for a plan you have works out the way you want it to, which it almost certainly won't. And I don't say that to discourage anyone, but this was the life is cruel thing, is that there's so much that we want, there's so much that we intend on that just doesn't happen. We put so much effort into things and it just doesn't work sometimes. On the flip side, those things, they kind of define, and this is a little philosophical, I guess this is a little philosophical, they kind of define the fucking human experience, right? It's like every day, especially at my job, because I do like service, like maintenance and stuff on, I know I've mentioned on blue collar, on electrical stuff. And it's like 90% of the time, you go in, you kind of know what the problem is, and some bullshit goes wrong. And I say goes wrong, but it's like, oh man, whoever did this last fucked it up. Whoever, blah, 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 whatever. We forgot something at the shop. Something. And most of the time, it's not a problem. You just reevaluate. Okay, this needs to be done, and then you make it happen. And on a smaller scale, it's easy to do, but when it comes to my car broke down last week, or my car broke down when I got home from work yesterday, how the fuck am I going to get to work tomorrow? How do you just up and pivot? Now in that situation, you'd find a way, sure. But again, life is so cruel. You lose a loved one. How do you just up and pivot? There's not a fix. You just change directions. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, is living for the now. Is how do I switch directions? How do I know which direction I want to switch to? How do I know when it's time to switch directions? Learning to live for now. That's all I can think of. Just the planning can wait. The blueprint is there. I just live every single day trying to have a good day that day. I would go, man, I'll go on a run tomorrow. I'll think, man, today would have been a great day to go on a run. And then all day, like, for example, I have school on a certain day of the week. And let's just say it's Thursdays. Let's say I have school on Thursdays. On that Thursday, I'll be walking around and think, man, today would be a great day to go on a hike, to go run, to go play basketball. But I have class after. Then I'm miserable all day. The next day rolls around, I forgot I even said that shit. But, like, what the fuck was the point of me even saying in the first place? Like, today and yesterday and for some days now, I've made it a habit of going out on a run. Except I've never actually said the day before I'm going to go out on a run. I just did it. And I've mentioned that whole thought process in a whole other video of just doing things. But now, like, the mentality is different. I'm not just doing things to do things. I'm not doing things to be spontaneous. I'm doing things because I want to do them, and that's it. I want to go out. I want to cook something. I want to eat well. I want to take care of my body. I want to hang out with my friends, and I want to stay connected with my family, and I want to talk to people I'm interested in. I want to do these things. So it's not even just like I just do them. It's like, why don't I do myself that favor? Why don't I grant myself that grace? Because life is already cruel. It's going to figure out every way to fuck you every day. Seriously. I mean, it's like I feel like we don't talk about that shit enough. Or oftentimes when we meet up and we hang out with our friends or whatever, we don't want to talk about what happened at work that day. Because it's fucked. And you know what? Everybody in that room probably had an equally fucked day. I know at my job, we call Fridays fucked off Friday because most of the time we end up working late. And it's nobody's fault in particular. It just so happens that the day before the weekend, we end up working late. Because of course we do. The best day of the week ends up being the worst one. Because you get up to this fucking pinnacle and it plummets, drops you. That'll do it. Life is cruel. But when I get off work that Friday and I go to hang out with my friend and just chat it up, all of a sudden it wasn't such a bad Friday. Because I live for the now. And I didn't tell myself, oh, that sucks, I guess I'll just have to do everything tomorrow. For what? Resonate on it for what? Sit there and dwell and seethe for what? Seriously, like, what's the purpose? We like wasting all that energy on being upset for what? Just cuz? Because that's what you do when you're upset? It's a waste of fucking energy, and I'm tired of wasting energy. Genuinely. Fuck, I hate that I just said genuinely. But seriously, I hate feeling like I just wasted energy on something. Like I just fucked off. I used to get back from work and just doom scroll on my fucking phone for like 2 hours. I'd get off at a decent time. It'd be 3 p.m. when I got back to my apartment. And then I'm doom scrolling and it's all of a sudden it's 5:30. All that wasted time. Just a waste. I start playing video games and I get mad as hell. I lose and I get mad as hell. You know what I do? I went out for a run. I turned that shit off. Because what's the point? What's the point of wasting energy? What's the point of sitting there and dwelling and being upset? I feel like there's so much that's literally just there to ruin your day. To upset you, to piss you off, to change the whole year trajectory, to month by month, day by fucking day. There's just bullshit constantly being thrown at us to upset us, or not even to upset us, but that upsets us. The fucking, I mean, again, the fucking gas prices going up has ruined this fucking month and last month. Ruined it. And not even like a, oh man, this sucks, man, I have to pay a little bit more for it. I mean, no, but dead ass, like, motherfucker, I could, that extra little, honestly, like, my gases went up. Like, I'd say I probably spent like $30 more a week. You know what $30 is? $30 is a meal and an appetizer, twin. Think about that. I could be getting a fucking an $18 meal and an $8 appetizer, and it's still tip halfway decent with the amount I'm spending on gas. The extra bit of money I'm spending on gasoline. That shit, like, it's stuff that we have to take care of, right? But like, it just feels so cruel. I'm just feeling like I'm not even just feeling like, but I'm managing my money the best I've ever managed it. I feel like I constantly have money, which I'm not trying to flex or nothing, but I mean, like, literally, I just don't spend my money on stupid shit anymore. I feel great about it. Like, and then prices go up. And then a bill is due. And then it's like I could sit here and let all the fucking problems pile up and upset me and piss me off, or I could learn to live now. And I've given similar messages in the past, but I think I want to zero in here on how fragile life is. Life is like, we don't get much of this. We don't get we don't have a definite. We don't know how much time we're going to be on this earth. We don't know if tomorrow I'm going to be here or you're going to be here, and it's a thought I hate so much. But seriously, like, I don't want to regret anything. I don't want to regret not doing something. I don't want to regret having done something to avoid another thing or whatever. It's like, why am I not trying? What's the point of not trying? Like, I could at least put some effort in, right? If we want something, we could just go after it. I know it sounds corny, but like, seriously, like, why conform? I only get to do this one time. Every day I live where I just like waste away is exactly that. It's a wasted day. I only get so many of these. I see people in my personal life old and young, they pass away, and I'm not that they're not around me anymore. And for some of the younger people, I think like, man, you had so much time. You could have done so much. And here I am with all this time, and I'm just wasting it. I could have everything and not be happy. Why is that? Why is it that we can have everything you're supposed to strive for and still not be happy? Life is cruel. So, I know this video is a little longer. I'll just leave you guys with that, and the last thing I'll say, I guess, is learn to live today. If you're watching this and it's late at night, you know, I'm not saying get up and go do something. Maybe just turn your phone off and go to bed. Turn whatever you're watching off and just go to bed. Rest up and attack tomorrow. You know, because that's actively doing something, right? I think people underestimate how important resting is. We're always on go, operating at 100%. Just rest. If it's early in the day and you're pondering on whether or not you should do something, just go do it. Again, I've given that advice before, but I mean, I don't mean just go do it because you want to do it or whatever, but just go do it because you don't want to regret not having done it. Let's not waste any more time. So that's what I want to leave you with. I hope that gives you something to think about. If you want to ask me anything, or you have any questions, or you have maybe a topic you want me to speak on for next video, just drop it in the comments. I love you guys. I really appreciate you listening and hearing me out and letting me ramble on. Yeah. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of whatever period of time you operate on, and whatever amount of time that is left on that period of time that you operate on. I'm going to say have a good night because it's about 10 p.m. for me. Yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for listening.